even know who I was talking with, but we'll make this happen. Definitely. This is awesome. Let's count down. Let's go, and we are live again. Look at this, we are live. Oh my god, we just went off live just a few seconds ago, but I had to come back live online again. Let me take this comment down for a second. Let me say hello everyone. It's a new podcast because people are just joining. They're like, I thought you went off live, why are you back on? I got to restart again. But please, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is the humble Prince Dr. Chukwemeka Eddy Attah-Edeh. For your friends, my friends, they call me Eddie for short, and it's a pleasure to have you on the other side of the listening wave. I have Mr.
Fejiro After.
Fejiro After. Oh, yes, please tell us who you are. Tell us how you know about the show. Tell us how this strange meeting happened and how did this happen. Yes.
So I was just mindlessly scrolling on IG and I saw the link and I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I just clicked it and I just found myself here. So I don't even know what I'm doing here.
You just showed up and boom, we're live again. Yes, and this is how the podcast happens. If it's a conversation I think has to happen, let it happen. We have it on my show. The Flight on the Wall podcast is as your first time on the show. I'd like to welcome you, especially. I host this every Saturday. This episode was kind of on my own. I was kind of doing a solo kind of thing, but now that you're here, we can have just a genuine regular how the podcast happens. The way the podcast breaks down is we introduce ourselves, we talk about what things we do, how we know each other, how we like things in the world, things that we like, things we don't like, and then we go ahead and we talk about a topic that the fans have put forward or someone have put forward, or even you have put forward, or me myself have put forward, and then we put those questions out and we talk about it with any type of knowledge we have. Could it be expert knowledge about it? Could it be amateur knowledge about it? It doesn't matter. It could be in the middle, it could be in the far. Just let us know what you think about the topic, and then we go from there. You might learn something, I might learn something, we might learn something, everybody wins. Yes. Yes, I hope I broke it down a little bit so you know how the show goes. Yes.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the show, the Flight on the Wall podcast. This is our season 3. We've been running for almost 3 years now, so this is very cool. But I don't know how you've not seen this, but I'm glad the algorithm has finally pushed it to you that you can see it. So maybe you'll be joining us every week. I don't know. It's up to your schedule. We try to host it every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay.
Sometimes it runs longer, sometimes it runs shorter. It depends on how the topic goes. Today's topic was on education, but we can bend it towards your will. What is it that interests you? Tell us about yourself. Tell us how we met. Tell us how you know the host or not. Let us know. And I see you're sporting kind of the same haircut of me, and mine is a bit more now. Whereas you're looking much fresher than I am.
Okay, so I think I met the host in 2008. It was like a this thing 1 week like Christian boot camp, and so basically I've only met the host for 1 week of my life. if you sum up the amount of time I've spent with Eddie in total, it's 1 week.
It's solid foundation 1 week. Oh my goodness, that was unique, an experience unlike no other. Tell us please about where this
started
place
on Saturday and ended on Saturday.
Yes.
And I remember on the last day, Eddie was like trying to say that this is the last camp I'll be coming to because I'm going to Ukraine for studies. That you guys would never see me again. And just as you predicted, that was also the last one that I went for because I only went for that one.
Really?
Right?
That was the only one I ever went for. I wish I went for more, but at the same time, I didn't wish I went for more. I was like, this camp that I'm going for, because my brother had go for every week. They went for like 2. before it. And then they're
Yeah.
like, that one, I was like, okay, let me follow them and join. I was like, that was so much fun. I would love
Yeah,
to go. And then I
yeah, no,
realized,
I enjoyed it. God damn.
oh my goodness, I over enjoyed it. That was directly, legitimately fun. Oh my goodness,
Like,
no.
this is the last one, and I'll miss you guys.
I've forgotten everything about that. Did I really cry?
It's not you did not cry actually, but you're just sad. You're just like, ah, yeah, like this is the last one and stuff. Then, how much memories do I have from
Please go
about?
ahead. Please spill the bean. Let's know all the things that happened out there.
I
Yes.
saw you dancing at some point. I think they were dancing. I think maybe music was happening and they're dancing salsa. Like you just entered the dance floor, like you just took over everywhere. I have that memory. Then I remember you tried to.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how those relationship ended.
The one week relationships, right?
Yeah.
Remember, wait, what's her name? I will not forget. She's married now. I call her Chi just for anonymity's sake. She loved me to the ends of the world.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
And we still communicate.
yeah,
We
yeah.
do.
Yeah,
No,
she talks. She has
it's
about like I remember like that anytime like maybe she how is Eddie like
I leave a lasting impression on people wherever I meet. It doesn't
yeah,
matter where. I try to make sure that for that moment in time that our timeline happens to coincide, we will have the best of times. That's what I agree. Yes, for sure.
then I also
Yes.
remember like, there's another babe that you liked that was like one platoon ahead of us because I think they put us based on our ages
Age, yes.
and in the same platoon. So there was a
This
babe that
has
was
been
like
a
platoon ahead.
thing.
I had a crush on.
Oh my goodness. Oh, please tell us, what have you gotten up to since then?
So university, right? Engineering, University of Lagos. Then
Wow, impressive.
worked a bit, started my career in OLX. So in OLX, I was doing a bit of everything, right? Majorly like customer support, right? But analytics, right, and everything. So that's where I like got introduced to analytics. But I was using like analytics to support like the customer support team. From there, went to Huawei.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
More
wow,
and
wait.
yeah,
Impressive.
then from Huawei, I went to Agro, an agricultural startup, where we started building products to support like farmers and the agricultural value chain. So the idea is that we look at the value chain from when the farmers procure the inputs to when they harvest and they sell, and we try to digitize every step. So we
Mm.
digitize the procurement, digitize the payments, digitize the playbook and all those things. Then from there, still went deeper into fintech. Then I went to a fintech startup where we're trying to build financial solutions, saving solutions for businesses and stuff. Right now, I work with a big four consulting firm.
Impressive.
I use analytics and where I use analytics to support like the audit team. So essentially, my career has been heavy on analytics, data and analytics, and on the second side, a lot of product development. So I was even talking to like my former boss like last week,
Mm.
and I was telling that I'm doing data and analytics again because in my previous job I was like more like product facing, so I was building
Listen,
products,
okay.
doing product development, product management and stuff. And she was like, "You're finally home." Because like during my career as going, I started with data and analytics, moved to product, moved back to data. So she's
Wow.
that
You're
when I was
finally back to where you are, is home.
according to her, she said that I was just pretending to be a product manager. It's what I'm supposed to. That's what I was born to do. That anytime, that all the while that I was doing product, just like you will still go back to where you're
Go back
supposed
to where you are going, that's for sure.
to stuff.
Oh my goodness.
So what
That
have you
is fun.
up to since after Ukraine?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. What have I been up to since? Okay, let me start from solid camp, I guess. Solid foundation camp. When we finished that, that was 2016, right? No, 15.
2008, I guess.
It was 2000 because I left for no, sorry. 2008 was when 2015 was when I graduated from med school. 2008 was solid camp. Yes, because I left 2009. But it was 2009. It has to be 2009 because I started university 2009.
Oh, so it was 2009. It was in 2009.
Because summer of 2009 we did the camp, and
Yeah.
then I left that fall because I know I was 1 month late because I wanted to do that solid camp. That's the reason I was late for university. I did the solid camp, and then by August, and that, I think it was in August, September time, right? And then my flight was supposed to leave by September, but I missed it. Then I left in October to Ukraine. I spent 6 years in Ukraine. I graduated medicine, came back to Nigeria for about a month. I visited a bunch of guys, and then I left for United States, and which I've been here since permanently, even throughout. The last time I went to Nigeria was 2019 through 2020, just before the pandemic. Just very interesting. So I've been in the United States. I've gone through all sorts of jobs because I graduated from Ukraine with a red diploma, with a regular diploma, not regular, it's like above regular diploma. The regular diploma gets you like regular apostate and stuff, but I have like extra accolades on it because I did a concurrent course right beside it, and also did an engineering program as well. So that's why when I graduated,
So
I had
you did both medical and engineering programs together.
can concurrently.
Okay.
Yeah, it's highly illegal, but I had to do it. I mean, you're not supposed to do it in school. Like, you're supposed to just focus on one course.
So it's like a BS. So you have like a double BSc.
Double BSc, yes, but it's only reflected on the medical part. So it
Okay.
has like if you see, if I can show you my financial, my what do you call it, my transcript. If you
Okay.
share my transcript actually has its shade stated that it's I graduated with a diploma that is higher than an American doctor on
Okay.
a professional level. That's what it's translated as. So after getting that, I came to United States, and I to apply with the with my foreign distance, they won't give me any job with that. You have to have the licensing and the credential and all those things, right?
Okay.
So what ends up happening is that I'm like, okay, to get certified, because until you're certified, you can't get a proper job here in America. So getting certified, I'm like, okay, what can I do? I can go into the medical field, try to keep the same path. Of course, my parents are like, oh, you have to keep the path that you started with. This is medicine, and you put a lot of effort to it. Very, very, very apt description. I'm not gonna lie, but where that hindered me is that because I'm in the medical field there, and they only need those that are certified to be on the job. If you're not certified, you cannot get the job. So there's this vicious cycle, right? So I'm in this vicious cycle trying to navigate. I entered the lowest job possible, which was I think it was pre-TNA. So TNA is temporary nursing assistant. Pre-TNA is like basically a janitor. You're cleaning the ground. You start there, and then I walked up the ladder. Became a TNA, CNA. I got up to the part of GNA, but I didn't get that part. I'm like, okay, let me switch roles. I switched roles into IT. Started at the lowest part as well. That is basically customer acquisition. Go to the door, knock to door. Do you guys have Verizon? I'll sell Verizon to them. I walked up the ladder, built a team. I got up to the assistant managing position. My team branched out. We had a franchise actually, and then we started out in Providence Road, and we moved out to LaSalle Road. Basically, where the company was growing big enough that my own branch that I was affiliated with was now able to move out to Boston. You know,
Okay.
I couldn't relocate with them. Like,
Why?
everything I know is here now. My house, my dad is like, "Hey, we have a house here. You cannot just fly out and go anywhere." Fair
So what
enough.
state are you in the US?
I'm in Maryland.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Which side are you at now?
I'm in the UK.
Oh, nice. Which part of the UK?
I'm in Guernsey. It's
Guernsey?
actually the Channel Island.
Nice.
So it's small. I'm on like an island, like around the UK.
Okay, you're in the UK. That's all that matters. You're in Japan.
Yeah.
You still use flight to fly over there. Yes. So no, that is beautiful because I have my friend who, my brother's girlfriend is in Swansea, and she just came visiting not too long ago. Last week we were actually in New York for our visit last week. So that, if this podcast held live, but in a very different format from New York, because I was walking around and like talking to people. But yeah,
Okay.
so I got up to the level of, how would I say, assistant manager. My side moved out to Boston, so and I had to basically start again from beginning. Started working with SiteSafe. I built up. I started working with Linux. Got up to program coordinator. I started as a DSP, then went up the ladder. Got as a program coordinator. One, then two. Then that the pandemic was now rolling in. I became program coordinator two, just January of 2020. Right, I
Okay.
had the whole department, the whole this on my name. I had to support that, and then pandemic hit by March of 2020. So my department closed down for the entire of 2020, and then I let go by 2021. And I said, okay, fine, let's switch completely to IT. We went into IT. I became a contractor for IT. I did program coordinating one and two for IT, project management, product placement, um, executing tasks, make sure that you can send employees out. That time we used to scan the towers, those 5G towers, right? So
Okay.
it was
Okay.
like right back time when people don't want to know anything about 5G. But anyways, my company was kind of nice and growing, and then it's plummeted after a while, and then finally we moved back to medicine, which is where I am now. I work for Georgetown University Hospital. I work for under invasive. I'm an interoperative neuro monitor. So basically, if you are doing your surgery, you have to be
Mm-hmm.
monitored during your surgery, right? So the people that say, "Oh, surgeon, you're good to go. The spine surgery that you're doing is not affecting the patient will not come out with any negative outcome." That's my job. Okay, I'm the one
Okay.
that I have the laptop in the OR with the surgeon, I'm monitoring the patient like on the millisecond level. So
Okay. So
that's
that's when you're back doing medical stuff, but the engineering
exactly.
part of the medical thing.
But then also employ my engineering and electrical parts also in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm
Okay.
kind of in the right spot, which I like. At the same time, it's not the best spot, but it works for now. So
Okay.
we will work with it. But yes,
But for you, what do you think like the next couple of steps would be?
beautiful question, beautiful question. That's actually what we were doing in the episode before you walked in, which is what I wanted to go back to studying, and this time I wanted to get a degree in engineering here in America.
Okay. Okay.
So my goal with that was say, okay, I apply for this stuff. How do I go about it? What do I need? Or I get all
So
those
like
things.
a master's degree, or you just want to
Yes,
apply straight for a
no,
PhD?
a master's degree. So I'll start with a
Okay.
master's degree and then go for PhD. Because then if I get a master's degree, I could teach, I think, while I'm
Yeah.
doing it. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that they offer something like that. So I just downloaded a Udemy course now that I wanted to apply for and say, okay, this is I'll be teaching while I'm learning as I'm working.
Okay. So what engineering are you thinking about?
Great question again. This part that kind of threw me for a loop. I spoke to an advisor and they kind of encompassed it with information technology IT into system engineering and then architecture, civil engineering plus software build up back and front end.
Okay.
Almost full stack basically kind of this and then combination of all of that in if you can do cybersecurity with some engineering come together.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I saw the layout of it. So if I start with IT, branch into system engineering will teach me infrastructure, architecture, civil engineering, and programming. Then from there, I can dial all of that into cybersecurity and then just direct engineering. All of that will now finally end in like a mixture of bio and chemical and biochemical or bioengineering.
Okay. 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 So I think the goal is to be as broad as possible, so that you can always like evaluate your options along the way and stuff. Cool.
Okay, that's a good advice. I think I'm going to take that into consideration. Be as
Cool.
broad as possible so you can always take into consideration other things.
So but it depends on where on. Sometimes I feel like it also depends on where you are in your career, right? So if you're just maybe starting off, right, you want to be broad so that you can always like change options and reflect what you're doing. But I feel like if maybe you've been doing something for like let's say 5 years or 10 years, right, you want to be as narrow as possible because
Mm,
then you want to like be as specialized as possible. So for me, like for my first degree, the reason why I read system engineering was because I wanted to read the broadest engineering I could find. You
mm.
get because I was not exactly sure. Like you tell a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old to pick what you want to do for the rest of your life, right? Way too young to make such a life-changing decision.
Taking those giant life decisions is very hard, though, and
So
people they don't let them deceive you.
So I picked system engineering because they told me that a system engineer can work as every other engineer. You can work as an electrical engineer, you can work as a computer engineer, you can work as a civil engineer, you can just work as every other engineer. So mechanical engineer. So it just was the right. It just made sense at the point that okay, you pick something that's okay that I can kind of still be across all of them
Across all the boards. That's why I
and
thought
stuff.
too.
So, but I'm at a place right now that if I was to go back, like if I'm doing a master's or a PhD or something, right, it's going to be a bit more specialized. So it's either going to be something like it's either going to be something like let's say like data science, right? So very, very specialized. Or maybe the second option, if I want to be a bit broad, maybe something like engineering, like management. So
Got you. That's what's up. That's what's up. I know.
so
Sorry.
So you can also consider engineering like management, right? So like a lot of schools have like engineering like management, right? So you kind of learn the basics across most of the other engineering. But because it's engineering management, like you have to know that they add some management principles on top. So you have to know, so for it to be like a manager, you have to know a bit of electrical, a bit of mechanical, a bit of you get and stuff. So that's how most of all those programs are structured.
Got you.
And
Got you. Got you.
yeah,
I
so
mean, I'm just
like
new into that whole educating part here in America because
yeah.
I've been in the administrative and in the legwork part, but now going to the education part is going to be a little bit of a tricky part. But I'm sure
Yeah,
it will work out itself for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. This
So
is what's up.
is
Yeah,
your it seems like the rest of your family are they also in the US with you?
yeah. Everybody's here now. At least my immediate family, my mom, my dad, my brothers. Yeah, my sister. I have a new sister now. She's like 5 years old. Yeah, no,
Okay,
so she's seven. My bad.
okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were just like, man, that Nigeria is not working, man. Like let's get out of here.
I'm not the only person that saw it in the beginning. It's not like we
How
don't
did you
like
even
Nigeria.
see it? My point is that I don't even understand how you saw it
I told you guys that
at
day, like
two
this
thousand
country,
and nine.
this country was sending itself towards a lock hand because I could see our exporting has stopped. Right? Let me put
Mm-hmm.
this camera side by side. Do you have your phone like this, right? Could you turn it like this?
Oh, like this?
Yeah. Make sure you
Oh,
unlock
okay.
your orientation control.
Is it on? This is how you want it, right?
Yeah, but you have to unlock your orientation control first. You know, you have your orientation up, you unlock it.
Okay, that'd be okay.
Then yeah, perfect. So now we can be side by side. All right,
Oh, okay.
perfect. There we go. So the thing about how I you say how did I know from long ago? I didn't really actually know, but I could see the signs. They were written on the wall, basically, right? Um, Exportation has stopped. Importation was on the maximum. We didn't have any outcrop or anything that Nigeria could celebrate itself for. Because okay, was it Ghana must go? We didn't have. Did we produce any cars? We didn't have. Did we make any textiles that were not sold past Katangua? No. I looked online. Okay, at that time we didn't have much online, but we had cyber cafes, right? I could go
Mm-hmm.
online and say type in Nigerian wear. I wanted to buy Abada that time, dashiki. You can't find it anywhere. But you can see the person selling the thing right there. But so we didn't have we oh somebody's texting me. Are we still doing the podcast? Yes, we are still doing the podcast. So of course we're still doing the podcast. What kind of question is
So,
that?
so for me, the thing about Nigeria, right,
Yes.
is that I feel like I feel like in 2008, In short, when I graduated university in 2015, it didn't look so bad, right? So I remember like I got a job in OLX. At the time, they pay me like 150K or so, or 120K. It was not bad money if I was being honest, right? I was saving like let's say 50% of my salary, like and everything. So because like cost of living was not crazy, right? So but between 2015, or maybe it's just like my experience, right? Like it actually took a while for me to realize that it was bad, right?
Mm.
I'd actually worked in OLX for 1 year. I'd moved from OLX to Huawei. I started working. In short, it was around the time that I started working in Huawei that it started like the reality
Dawned
started
on you.
dawning more and more, and and everything just kept going from bad to worse, right? So, like for example, look at Naira. Naira has lost like 100% of its value in the last 1 year. You understand? So,
That
so
one was when you remember which when okay, because I had gone to United States 2003, right? And
okay,
that was 5 years before solid count, right? So I had
okay.
about 5 years to ruminate on the fact that exchange rate was a big thing, right? My uncles back then they'll give me $10. Say take it. I'm like, what am I doing with $10? Mom like grab it from me, like, yeah, give me that $10. This is think I'll hold it for you. I'll give you when we go home. I didn't realize until when I go home, I asked my dad. My dad was very forthcoming with answers. How much is exchange rate? How much is this? And he would answer and
But
reply.
even at that, I don't think it could have been that bad then because the exchange rate was almost like in between like 150 to 100 naira per dollar for over 10 years. Like the exchange rate never moved.
Yes,
As
it didn't
in short,
shift that much at all.
didn't shift down.
150,
In short,
159, 150, 159. It bounced all throughout
I
when I was
was
in
all through
secondary.
when all through when we were in secondary school, primary school. I don't think the exchange rate dropped by more than 20 naira
No, it
from
did
when I
not.
was from when I was in primary school to when I finished this thing to when I finished university. Right? I don't think the exchange rate dropped more than if it was bad 20 naira, right? And that is now the reality of what like baffles me about Nigeria, of how
It
everything
is
went to shit in short
how
period of
everything
time.
just went. And now we are at a point where the youth are eloping. Okay, I can attribute it also part of it to last election.
This is not a political podcast, but but any anywhere there's the downfall of APC, if if I am sleeping and you wake me up that APC is experiencing their downfall, I will be there.
You'll be
If
there
I am
championing
if it
it.
is if it is my honeymoon night and I'm on top of my wife and you call me that APC is dying, I will be there. I
You'll be like,
will
what?
I will be there. I feel like,
Yo,
honestly speaking, I feel like the downfall of APC should be the priority, should be the number one priority of Nigeria, right? Because the oppressor would never. It's not the duty of the oppressors to feel to and to free the oppressed.
hmm
You
hmm
understand? So, and you can joke about it that I'm so anti APC and everything, but you can't blame me, right? By the time APC took over power, right, a dollar was about 150 naira, and after about 10 years of APC, a dollar today is over like 1,700 or so. So
It's a massive increase, the likes that we've not seen in
you
our
understand? So Buhari took
entire
it from
career.
like 150 to like let's say 450 ish.
I agree.
Then Tinubu took it from like 450 to like seven one
750.
1,700.
Ha!
You
In one
understand?
year, our
You know,
the amount of money
then
that we work for is triple the amount that someone has to work for. When that
yeah,
dawned
just
on me was in America, when I've traveled for the first time, and I wanted to buy Toblerone inside the airport. I had 60 naira in my pocket. I brought it out. I'm like, you can exchange. I understood the fact that you can make exchange, right? I went to bureau the exchange and I wanted to exchange my naira note for money so I can buy the Toblerone because I did the math in my head. It's $3, right? If I did the calculation, I take them my 60 naira, and I saw that no, it's not enough. The money I had in my pocket was not enough to do that. And it dawned on me that our country is quickly running aground if it was a ship. But anyways,
Um,
what do you think? What do you think the youth can do in this situation?
there's nothing is
Because the
if we're
youth
being
tried
honest.
last election, right? They tried to come out to
So
vote.
so the only way, right, if we're being honest, is political power, right? There's nothing more, nothing less, right? It's only political power that solves issues, not violence, not protest, not anything. And if you notice, that's why in South Africa, even during the apartheid, after all the violent protests and all the violent fights, everything still boiled down to political power with Mandela becoming president, right? Political power is the only way possible, right? And so, like in South Africa's case, as I said, everything still ended up with Mandela being president, right? So everything has to end with political power. Like, there's no amount of protest and unrest that can solve
That can
issues, right?
solve that
Political
kind of
power.
thing. You're right.
So political power is everything, right? And now, when you now think about it, which political power do you want to have to collect presidency or collect power from Tinubu and APC and Yaya Bello and Atiku? So there's really no chance, right? So that's why, and to show you like how everything resides, how political power is the only solution is that think about how much influence like a Peter Obi has had versus how much influence about an um Nnamdi Kalu has had, right? So since Nnamdi Kalu is not trying to get political power and he's just trying to cause unrest, right? You can see it has no influence on what can happen, but political power is the only way forward. So the only hope is that hopefully, right?
Some of the youth get into politics and then attain power.
Yeah. Like more people more good people get into the system. Take local government chairmanship, take House of Rep, and small by small, they just keep rising and they keep rising and they keep rising. And once there are enough like good people, maybe we can get, and maybe by some like chance or luck, we can get like a good president, right, and everything. But the problem is like the good president is harder because and what I was telling Son is another problem that we have is that the idiots far outweigh the wise people in Nigeria. So for every one person that has sense, there are like 100 idiots that will go and vote for APC next election. No, I'm for real. I'm for real. You
Oh,
get
that is
right.
so true.
So the mortality rates of like no matter how bad it is, right, it really does not matter because you know what is our own that is there. Emilokon is our turn, right? So long and short of it all is that as long as those same people are still ruling Nigeria, they might there's almost no hope, right? And
I agree.
everything.
In a way, it's kind of sad to think about that. If you have the same cabal of people that are just in power consistently, constantly for the entirety of your lifetime, my lifetime, and even my parents' lifetime, and it's like they choose to remain in this low place, which is kind of sad because I've traveled abroad, right? I've never been insulted or belittled. I've spent a week with you, and I'm very sure. And throughout that time, there was no much. Yes, we yab each other, but it's all in jest. But traveling abroad for the first time, I was insulted because of the color of my skin, and I didn't even understand what the word nigger meant. Pardon my French, it's like American language, but I didn't know what it meant, and somebody was calling that repeatedly, and I'm looking at this person like, well, there's obviously anger in his voice, but I don't know what the word he's using is doing me. But the word didn't hurt me, so to speak. But until later, the person is like, my guy is like, oh, why didn't you get angry at that thing I said to you? I'm like, what thing he said to me? And then he said that. I'm like, oh, so that's what the N word meant. Oh wow, okay, I'm sorry. you know but in our place we are unexposed to that, and these are our leaders that travel out and see these things happening, and they don't bring these stories back and tell us, oh, let us better ourselves so that we can even at least stand on the same ground if we are looked at as less or inferior, right? But what I see as our ability to do, or what we can do, is, with this advent of social media, Black people are becoming more represented. They are able to be speaking out and showing that they are, talented in multiple facets. Data, words, medicine, music. We are coming out in this new technologically improved world, right? What else can you suggest to the, I would like to call them layman, or the average kid who is watching this podcast now saying, oh, these are two people that I think have made it in life. One is a data analyst, one is a neurophysiologist, and the other person that is listening online is probably something else, or a nurse or a doctor, So how will we, what do we tell to the youth who is still in Nigeria, who has not, as the word they say, japa? I did not japa because I left before the whole thing went south, because I was warning people. I was like, hey, leave now. Nobody left. But I decided to move. But when I do, I still have ideas I can help in Nigeria with, if they will offer me the opportunity to. I have had so much ideas, but right now, what would you suggest as per technology wise, and what have you learned in your data aspect that will help Nigerians become better? And of course, without giving away any proprietary advice that we can benefit both of us.
So in general, right, if you ask me, right, um, first of all, right, you have to have eaten for you to even think straight, right? You cannot be innovative on an empty stomach. And so first of all, right, learn a skill. So at least with a skill, you can make money and you can have something to eat. Because like how they say hierarchy of needs, right? You have to first solve your basic needs: food, shelter, and safety. And then then once you can solve food and shelter, in short, if you have to first solve food and shelter first, then after you solve food and shelter, you cannot think of safety. Then when you think of safety,
food and water is together. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's why. So food and shelter, you need to first have somewhere to sleep and somewhere to eat. Then after you have somewhere to sleep, that's when the person under the bridge is he's not thinking of if he's safe or not. He cannot think of safety.
Yeah.
So safety and security and stuff. Then after that, the next level is now when you're thinking of things like love, respect, acceptance.
Does it need that comes before wants, or wants before needs? I think it's needs before wants.
So it all goes like in an hierarchy, right? And after you have like love and respect and all those things, right? Then that's when you're not thinking of things like self-actualization, which is trying to be like the best you can be, which is trying to be like the boss man, which is trying to be like have a legacy, leave your footprint on the sand. You get, but you cannot be thinking of leaving your footprint on the sand if you've not eaten. So if you don't have food and shelter, so so I think first of all, learn a skill, right? And so that you can at least like make money, so you can have food, you can have shelter, you can have safety and stuff, because that is the only thing that will make you to even think straight first, so that you can think straight. So my number one is first have everything. Let
me write these things down as per this is knowledge from the Fejiro himself. Let's go. It's in Yankee, or no, it's not Yankee, it's in Jand. No. Yeah, it's in Jand. So let's see. He told us learn a skill. Okay, so I'm writing it down on my jotter. Learn a skill. That's the first things first. So skills like what? Because we can spread skills into many branches, right? Will it be personal skills? Will it be environmental skills? Will it be people skills? Will it be tech skills? What kind of skills are you for a Nigerian? Like,
a skill that people are willing to pay. A skill that people are willing to pay for. You understand? So it's just like, for example, when we're young, this would give us career advice of do what you love, do what you love, do what you love, do what you love. But it's not that's not exactly great advice, right? Because if what you love is to watch anime, right, you cannot make a living from watching anime.
People are making living streaming now. What are you talking about?
How many? Like,
how do you mean how many? Go and look at YouTube collaborators.
No,
I mean, don't they celebrate
so
them
the truth about so those are content creators.
When you bring the questions, I'll answer with facts of what we have as our tweets.
So those are content creators, right?
Yeah.
So now the point I'm trying to make is that the best career advice like anybody can give you is to do what is valuable. You get? So it should actually be it should actually be do something that is valuable that you love. It's not just do what you love. You understand? So it has to be valuable. And the valuable means that someone is willing to pay you money for it. So the YouTube content creators that they're talking about, what they're doing is valuable.
Indeed. Indeed.
So that is the point, right? So do what is valuable, right, and everything. And so that still ties down to what skill. So you need a skill that is valuable, right, and you can monetize. So it can be like I would be biased towards a digital skill because of you want to be agnostic of location. So if you have a digital skill, like for example, you are a product designer, you can be in Nigeria and be designing for a company in Germany or a company in the US, right? So you want to be as location agnostic as possible,
So
but
digital
have
skills. Do you have any examples of digital skills that you can suggest? Like graphic design is an example of digital skill, right?
yeah, graphic design, product design, UI UX design, um, software development, um, software development,
Websites, things like that, right?
websites,
Website creation,
yeah,
social image manager or something like that.
yeah, so stuff like that. Um, um,
But another thing
maybe
will also be like learning some vocabulary skills, right? Like you and I now, we are able to communicate, we're able to say these words and understand what we are saying. Some people in Nigeria don't even know English, right?
um,
So wouldn't you
so
suggest them to learn some
so
sort of
so
vocabulary?
so so if you notice, right, so digital skills, right, is just no, as I said, right, it was first blanket learning a skill, right, but I said that
Mhm.
because of maybe I'm a tech professional, I'll be biased towards learning a tech skill or a digital
Okay.
skill, right? Because you can be location agnostic, right? But it's
Yes.
still, but the real advice is still learning the skill. So it can be tailoring, but the idea is that with tailoring, you're not location agnostic, right? So if you're a tailor in Abulegba, you have to support people in Abulegba. You get so there, so you don't have the agnostic. So you
Mm,
cannot be location agnostic, right? So I'm not trying to say that learn a skill, right? But what the advantage of learning a digital skill is that it makes you location agnostic, right? So you can be in Nigeria and you can work for someone in the US, right? And everything. That's just so for example, copywriting or you can you understand digital marketing. You get so you can be in Yaba, Lagos, and you're working for a digital marketing firm
okay.
in
Somebody
San
somebody
Francisco.
raised this question. Say, okay, what of somebody that cannot afford to do these digital skills?
So that's what I said. So you can learn like a normal brick and mortar skill. You
Okay.
understand? So
So
if you're a
vocational
tailor,
skills
for
too.
example, so the problem, as I said, with if it's not a digital skill, is that you have to serve the people in the location that you are. So
Mm.
if you are like so
In a rural
if you
area,
learn
for example.
so if you learn tailoring, for example, you sew for people that are around you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can learn tailoring, you can fashion designing, beads making, shoe making, like so
That
just
to
have something that
pretend
anywhere,
that
any
this is
day,
something I do.
once you whip it out, someone will exchange it for money. You understand? So
Mm.
the goal is that there's something you can do that people are willing to pay for. You understand? So like my tailor in Nigeria, I just sent him like for 380K to sew clothes for me and send it to someone that's coming. 380. My point is that is a skill because we I sew the clothes by myself. You
For
so
clothes.
you understand? So that's the point, right? So he has a skill, and I am willing to carry my pounds, change it to naira, and send him 380 naira
Yeah.
for him to
For
make
it to
clothes
learn.
for me. You get my point,
I
right? So
get
that is what I mean. So he has a skill that people are
that's a
willing to
skill that
exchange
people are
money
still
for.
able to understand. But the only way he was visible enough for you to see him, because from your horizon you won't be able to see him, right?
No,
He has
so
to
I've been
be.
using him for a while when I was in Nigeria and
Oh, okay,
everything.
okay,
So
okay.
like I
So
said, right? So in a brick and mortar skill, right? Right. He was sorry for me because he was in my location. But now
okay.
that I've traveled, right, I now need stuff. So I have to maybe, oh, this is December. People are
December,
going
this one I
home
need,
to go and
yeah.
do dirty December. Okay, so bro, Dennis, you have my measurement? So
Speaking
XYZ
of
for
dirty
me.
December, are you going to dirty December?
No, I'm not going.
I'm not
So
going this
it's
year. Next year we'll
so
go.
it is like, oh, so XYZ for me and give it to XYZ person who is coming and the person will bring it for me.
Mm,
You get my point, right? So
gotcha.
all this is that he has a skill that he can monetize, right? So whatever it is, I feel like everyone should have a skill, that they can monetize. And when it comes to even like building careers, I tell everyone every day, skill over certification.
Mm,
Like like it's all everything all boils down to what you can do. Like there's if you wish how about certification and the second person, this person can build a beautiful website with Python. That
mm.
person is
That
the
person is
real
the hot
G.
cake. Yep, yep.
You
That's the person
understand?
that they will go for. It's not someone that
You
cannot do
understand?
it with all the certifications.
Yeah,
All right.
so everything boils down to what you can do with your hands, man. So just have a skill. Like if you're in university, like just before you graduate, just have something that you can do with your hands
Mm,
that you like your hands should be able to do something.
do
You
something.
get
All right.
right
My own,
and
my
everything.
right now, because of the limitation that I have on my, I had an accident, as you can see, I'm missing part of my tooth. My hands are kind of messed up in the wiring stuff, but anyway, I can still function. I can still do things. I can still create stuff. I can make teach people online on how to better
Yeah,
manage their life.
so
So
so that's a skill. You understand? So just
it's
have
my
a
skill.
skill.
Yeah,
Like
I think I want to even take it further to teaching and educating people on how to do things. It's been I've learned a lot of things over this short period of time I've been around the sun, but I don't see people using their number six, as they say in Nigeria, to do things that could betterment you and I's life. Right now we're living in 2024, and we still have to think about where we live. We still have to think about how where food is produced. When we have subsistence farming, we have 3D farming, we have vertical farming, we have horticulture, aquaponics. Why are the places where these things can be produced in mass not being
you
used to
understand?
produce things in
So
mass?
farming too is a skill. Like just like as I said, right? Everyone must create some value, and so creating value is like is one of the most important things like you can do. And about this issue of creating value, it also even boils down to your paycheck, right? People who create more value naturally earns more.
Mm.
You get right. So that is why, for example, a doctor will be paid more than a cleaner because a doctor is creating more value for the society than a cleaner, right? And everything. So learn a skill, and the idea why I learn a skill is that you want to create value, right? And you want to do you have to do valuable things. Yes, and you have to do what is valuable, right? Other steps you can do is that you can go and look for the most valuable. You can learn more valuable skills because more valuable skills means that you make more out of it, right? And so that is it, right? So if you learn a skill, the idea is that at least you have income or you should have income. And if you have income, it means that you, as I said, you can think straight, right? You cannot be thinking of changing the world if you don't have a place to sleep.
That's true.
You get right.
That's true. That's
So
true.
so for me, the foundation of that should be that for me is like the foundation of society. So when you mean like government is creating jobs, right? All this is still tied. So when you want government to create jobs, it's just like government should empower people to learn things, to learn skills, so that people can work. Because if government creates work that nobody can do, then what is the need? You get so everything
That's
still.
it
So for me, like
for
that is
public
like one
work.
of the most important. So wherever you are, if you're in Nigeria, like just learn a skill,
Mm.
right? And if you can learn a digital skill, better still, right? Because because that is like a big equalizer. So, for example, the job that I got that I do here, they relocated me from Nigeria. I was in Nigeria and applied for it, and they were just like, "Oh," and that's how
I
I
want
got
you
here.
on the because I need a job like that that can relocate me with. Did they furnish you with car and house?
No, so at least they brought me here, and they housed me for like the first 1 month, and after
That's
that,
something. That's something.
yes.
That is something.
But But the thing is that everything still boils down to like skill, right? Because like when they got the job, I remember my brother asked me, "Ah, why didn't they just employ someone
That is
like
there,
locally
right?
that can do it right and stuff?" And that is where skill comes in, right? You have a special skill
Mm,
that you offer that maybe nobody local can offer.
can
So
offer.
then they have to go and look for it elsewhere, and they're like, "Oh, you in Nigeria, you can do this skill, right?" So that's like I said, that's some of the advantage of when you learn like a G2 skill, right? You because like maybe you have a skill that is in high demand and you have a skill that the demand is way higher than the supply. So the supply of a skill is the amount of people who can do the skill. The demand is the amount of people who need that skill,
Hmm.
right? The greater the delta between the supply and the demand, the more you get paid for that skill.
I agree. I agree.
So so for example, everybody needs. experienced software developers that can build real solutions like banking and financial solutions, but there are not a lot of people who have that experience out there. So what now happens are the ones that are now out there are now hot cake, and then they
Mm,
are well paid, they are well priced because there's a big delta between the supply of the skill and the demand for it.
and for it.
Right. It's also the same thing that is so any field that there's a big delta between what is needed and the amount of people that can do it. So that's why, for example, a pilot will be paid way higher than a driver,
Driver. Yep.
right? Because people that need pilots are way higher than number of people that can fly planes. You get and stuff.
Facts.
So,
Facts on it. Just
so
spitting
also,
facts.
so So as I said, right, the more the demand of the skill and the less people who can offer the skill, like the better for you, because then it means that you're better priced, right?
Okay.
Um,
We've come to a
so
point in the show. I know you,
okay,
I want you to finish your thoughts in the next few seconds. I come to a point in the show where I introduce you to the game we normally play on the show. Okay.
okay,
Have you played this game before?
which one?
It's a game designed to check your attention span. And also tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay,
Okay, so this you have to pay attention because these questions are connected. All right. So do you want 4 or 6 questions?
okay. Let's can I go in even and be 5? Okay, let me go. Okay, let me go with the
Your
higher band. Let
question.
me go with 6.
6. I like that. I like it. You're a challenging person. I like that. That tells me something. All right. So first of all, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear. Let's begin now. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions that kind of has us engineered to kind of let me know a little bit about you without you telling me a lot about you in plain words, basically. At the same time, I want you to have fun. We are having fun here, so the simplest answer is probably the best answer. Okay,
Okay,
are you ready?
okay.
If you have 600 coconuts on a plane, and one of them falls down, how many coconuts do you have left on that plane?
599.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right. So the answer is 599 if coconuts were allowed on plane.
Okay.
Coconuts are not allowed on plane. They are flammable objects.
They are, why are they not allowed on planes?
So we learn something every day, right? So coconuts are flammable or inflammable, what they call it. Yeah, they have
Okay.
fibers and oils that can combust at high temperatures or high pressures. And they've been
Okay.
found to
Okay.
know that you cannot carry coconut. If you're going to carry coconut on a plane, you definitely won't allow it to fall.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, are you ready? Are you geared now? Are you geared up for the questions now?
Okay.
So this is the kind of questions we're asking. All right, second question. How do you put an elephant into a fridge? And if you guys have the answers, those that are watching us, please write in the comment. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's hear your answers as well.
You open the fridge, you put the elephant inside it, and you close the fridge. That is if elephant enters fridges.
Oh, that is so good. Yeah, you are one of the very few people that have answered that very like immediately. Somebody wrote open fridge. I'm going to put that in the chat. Yeah, open fridge. Yes. So we have people like that who say, "Oh, well, there's no fridge that can fit an elephant. Oh, there's no elephant that can enter inside a fridge." And you answer the question very simply. That tells me something about you. It tells me that you see the problem, you know a solution that can be done, and you actually ask for it and you do it. Okay. Third question. How do you put a giraffe into that fridge?
You open the fridge, remove the elephant, put the giraffe, and close the fridge.
Okay, you must have heard this question before. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful. You're the first to get 3 in a row. Okay, okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. All right. Ready for the next question?
Okay.
The king of the jungle is calling a meeting. He wants every animal to be at that meeting. Which animal, no matter what it tries, can never, and I mean never, come to that meeting?
Okay. Is the meeting beside a pool of water? Where is the meeting?
It could be on an island.
Okay, because if it's not beside the pool of water, the fishes cannot make it on land.
Good. I
But
like how you're
also,
thinking. Okay.
but so that is one factor. But also, maybe when everybody's trying to get there, maybe the tortoise is a bit too slow to get to the meeting. So by the time you get there, the meeting is over. But also, don't
Yeah, we
forget that
have
there's a
Ubers these
giraffe.
days.
But don't forget, the giraffe is also inside the fridge. So except someone should open the fridge, the giraffe can also not make it to the
Please
meeting.
clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. The guy, clap for yourself. Why are you not clapping for yourself? Clap for yourself. There you go. Yes, clap for yourself. Good job. Wonderful. Yeah, beautiful. People always forget the giraffe they put in the fridge. It's still there. You didn't take it out. It's still there. You got to take the giraffe out of the fridge, and then voila. Hmm? Wonderful. All right. Next question. All right.
Okay.
A hunter wants to go hunting. There's a known lake of crocodiles, and a hunter wants to go hunting. How will he get across the lake on that day? There's a known
Mm.
lake of crocodiles. A hunter wants to go hunting. How will he get across the lake on that day?
You'll go on another day.
Okay. That's a good way. That's a good one. Is that your final answer? Yeah, okay. The answer is yes, he doesn't need to go on another day. He wants to go on that day because he's hunting, but he'll be able to get across the lake. Why will he be able to get across the lake? I'm giving you another option to guess now. Why? These are all the data points I gave you, right? I gave you he's going to hunt, right? And there's a known lake of crocodiles. How will he get across the lake on that day?
What of if the known lake of crocodiles is not along his path of where he's going to hunt, and he's not going to go and hunt in a lake now? It's in the forest, so it might not be along his path.
Okay. Good job. I like the way your brain thinks. So it's kind of in trying to sort out the nuances. That's good. That's why you're data analyst. It proves it. Okay. The answer is, are you ready for this?
Okay.
It doesn't matter how he gets across the lake on that day. Why? Because all the animals will be at the meeting.
Okay. Interesting.
You remember the meeting with the animals?
Yeah.
Yes, all the animals will be at the meeting. Okay, it's all right. Final question before we go back to what we were discussing. We like to have this break the tension, ask questions, enlighten our mind. Those that are paying, are watching us live, they love this. This is when the likes starts coming in. So if you guys will hit that like button for me, please, that would be great. Show that you like it, that what we are saying is good. All right, final question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you If you remember that the hunter decided to cross the lake on that day, he decided to swim across the lake. So swimming
Okay.
across the lake, he died. What killed him?
The meeting was over and the crocodiles came back.
I like how you're thinking. Now the meeting was still going on. It was a long meeting. They had to wait for the tortoise, remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm, mm. What's the answer?
You give up?
Yes, what's the answer? I'm curious.
Okay. The answer is, as he was swimming across the lake on that day, he got bonked in the head with the coconut that fell from the plane. Okay, you like see? That's how we like to have fun on the show. This is the Ed for Short Flight on the World podcast. We ask questions like that make you think outside the box, sometimes inside the box. Ask you around questions that makes you interested, and it kind of tells me a little bit about you. You are a data analyst by trade. It kind of makes sense because when I ask the question, you kind of found the details, found the answers immediately because you probably have either seen it before or heard it before or picked on the information about elephants and size and proportion. You deal with size and proportion all day. You deal with product management. You know how big things work. You know how small things work. So your first answer on like immediately telling me open the fridge, put it inside, close the fridge, that kind of tells me that, oh, you see that one, you've heard the question before, or two, you know a task that had to be done. It doesn't matter the size, it was a task that hand that had to be completed. Boom. So that kind of tells me a little bit about it. Like a Rorschach test I kind of created that kind of helps me to get to meet people and learn a little bit about them. And you know what a Rorschach test is, right?
No, what's that?
Beautiful question. Rorschach test is, I think we should even use this opportunity to let me pull up my laptop in this one. Let me pull. Give me a second. I can actually present in this one. Share screen, entire screen. Boom. All right, sharing. Okay, here we go. So you're seeing my screen right now, and we are at the bottom right here. So I want to actually check what a Rorschach test is. Okay. What is a Rorschach? Okay. What is a Rorschach test? Not a Russian test. Rorschach. There we go. I did not spell it, so I wanted to use the words. All right. So a Rorschach test is a psychological test that uses in blocks to assess person's personality and emotional state. Right. So it's like
Okay.
it shows you like pictures like this, and they ask you, "What do you think of this picture? Or what does this picture make you feel? What does it show you?" And you answer. If you've watched The Watchmen, they kind of use this for Rorschach's face.
Oh,
Um, so
okay.
it's like a personality discovery, and it's just ink blots on water spreading around. And some people seem to see different things. Some people see shapes. Some people it triggers some kind of memories for some people. So it's a psychological test. So kind of that kind of variety of learning about somebody without directly showing them or giving them something that will, scare them or terrorize them or make them feel some kind of way. I created these fun questions that I ask people, and the way they answer it kind of tells me a little one or two things about them. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, but anyways, back to the show we're talking about. You told us a little bit about what it means to help the youth in Nigeria, right? Helping the youth in Nigeria, they need to learn a skill, correct? And you told us that learning a skill in this part, you are biased towards a digital skill because you kind of found out that it kind of helps us to accelerate more in our learning, helps us to stand out in the environment and tell people one or two things about us without us having to do anything. You said that if we can learn something like graphic design, UX design, software design, website, social image manager, these or even vocational skills, if you cannot afford any of this will help us to actually accelerate ourselves to bettering our home country, Nigeria. You There was this quote you made that made me very very happy on the inside. I was like, I think I'll steal it from you. You say, whip it out, someone will exchange it for money. I'm like, that was more funny. Like if you a skill that you can whip out and someone will exchange for money, that was wonderful. I like that quote. So I think you have that skills, you have those things that kind of make people feel better about themselves. Could you tell us one or two things that has improved your life in the UK comparatively to Nigeria?
Um, um, is it how my life has improved since I traveled,
Or not
or
improved, right? Maybe it got worse. I don't know. You could be in my shoes.
Hmm?
I say maybe it got worse. You could be in my shoes. Maybe your living condition got worse as you went to UK. What? Tell me how did the condition change? Was it for the better? Was it for the worse?
No, so it's been good so far. It's been good so far, and especially with the fact that one, there's more. The currency is stronger, right? So I'm earning more doing exactly what I'm doing in Nigeria, right? And and I just have like I just have like more money to do things, right? So like more disposable cash, right, and everything. So it means
More
that I can also,
miscellaneous cash that you can
yeah.
use
So
to
so more
random.
disposable cash, right? So it means um and and it also means that I can also send more money back home, and I can also like support my family better and stuff.
So I have a
So
question regarding what you just said about sending money back home, right? Because people here, because I have friends that are here, obviously, and I have those that I speak to, acquaintances that say, "Oh, why are we always making money and sending it back home?" Could you describe to somebody what your money sending back home could do?
in African society, this thing, remittance is very, very big. It's not even just African society. It's even the developing world, right? So people from Pakistan leave Pakistan and go to the West and they work and they have to send back money back home to support their family and support the community and stuff, right? People in the Philippines, for example, go all over the world and send money back home. So it's the same thing of Africans that leave um Africa, right? You always have to we have to support like our family. It will be like our parents, it will be our siblings. You understand? Some people have people that they're sending to school, right? For example, I have like three elder ones, and even like going to university and stuff. Like so, a lot of I was supported to school by my elder ones. So maybe some people first go to uni, then they graduate, then they start making money, then they support the ones that's coming after them. Then those ones graduate, and this ones support the next and stuff. So occasionally, right? So I have like parents in Nigeria so that I also have to support from time to time and stuff. So that's about it.
But that's very good. Thanks for sharing that with us because people they see us send money back home. They're like thinking though we are making way too much money. We want to send back just for showing off or something. But this money actually plays a role in impacting people's lives back home. Education, food, transportation, you name it. It goes a long way in helping people back home because one, the exchange rate plays a big factor by our little muscle we do here. If we send it back home, it's a giant meal over there, right? And even though that we work day and night to make those money and make those ends meet, it's nothing compared to what they can send to us or what the thank you we get from them. That little amount we send to them that better their life. Their thank you is more enriching sometimes than even the money we send. Even their blessings, their well wishes. The fact that if you go home, you're assured that somebody is going to cook a meal for you when you get there. They'll have a roof over their head. That plays a very big role, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Please, yeah, go ahead as you were saying before I cut you off.
So that's it, right? Then I think there's also better work-life balance in a bit, right? Because in Nigeria, you are spending about 4 hours commuting to work, 4 5 hours. Like you're waking up at 5 in the morning, leaving your house at 5:30 to get to the office and stuff, right? But at least maybe because of where I am right now, right? My commute to work is maybe about 15 to 20 minutes and
Mine is
everything.
an hour plus.
So, so because you have like a shorter commute to work, right? It means that you're in a better you're just like better, like I guess, right? Because you have better work-life balance. Then, then what's the third thing I can mention? Then in Nigeria, another problem that we have is that there's something called shaving the yak.
Shaving
So
the yak.
shaving, yeah. So like YAK, right?
Yeah.
So shaving the yak is all the unproductive things you have to do in order to be productive.
Hmm.
So so in Nigeria, for example,
Elaborate, please.
you want to let's say you want to you're a software developer, you want to code. So being productive is the fact that you're on your laptop and you're coding, right? Shaving the yak is the fact that there's no light. So you have to leave your house and go to the filling station and take Okada to the filling station and buy fuel.
For
And when
bringing.
you buy fuel, you come back, you go, you open the generator, you put the fuel inside the generator, you close the generator, then you on the generator. Then you now go to the changeover box and you now change over from generator to NEPA. Then you can now go from NEPA to generator, you now go to your laptop and start coding to being productive. So
Time.
the idea is that you've used like 30 minutes or 1 hour to shave the yak, but it has no value to you being
Value to
productive,
being
right?
productive.
But all the small things you have to do in order for you to be productive, right? And in Nigeria, sometimes we spend a lot of times like shaving the yak. So we're talking about commuting, we're talking about NEPA, we're talking about trying to on the generator, we're talking about you're working in your house and your laptop dies. So because of that, you have to
Yeah.
look for the nearest workstation.
Which
So
you
all those
probably
things.
you will never get that laptop back again because someone is going to mess with it.
So all those things, right? So
Trouble.
why can't we just be productive when we want to be productive and just do our bloody work? Why do we have to think of NEPA? So you are trying to work from home, like NEPA is frustrating you, your internet is is coming off. So all those kind of things. So all of this. So right now, it's just if you want to work, you just open your laptop and you work. You're not thinking of
Wow.
NEPA, you're not thinking of light, you're not thinking of power supply and stuff. There's also that, right?
That's good. That's
So
wonderful. Thank you for sharing for those intellectual talks with us, and letting us know a little bit about your work-life balance in UK and how it is. You use the bus, I'm guessing, right, or the train, the metro.
um my I I actually walk to the office. My office is like a 25 minutes walk from my
Oh, that
house.
is beautiful. I
So
would do that any day. Yeah,
I
let's
just
see if I'm very sure if it's raining, you just carry your umbrella. You're fine.
yeah, that's one of the things that I find very, very funny in in the UK is how people don't even use umbrellas. They just wear their raincoat and they just walk under the rain.
Is that what they do? You just wear the raincoat. Okay, I guess yeah, because you have like proper raincoats that actually protect you all the way down. And you're fine, right? You don't need an umbrella because an umbrella is an extra thing you have to worry about
So
later.
you just see everyone is just chilling and just walking
Ah,
on.
that is
Because
that is.
sometimes it's the problem is that it's very, very windy, right? So if you carry umbrella, it can breeze can carry the umbrella away
Mm,
and everything. So
so
it's
to
all
avoid
good.
that, people just choose not to carry umbrella. They wear a raincoat that's gonna be on their body. If it's gonna be windy,
Yeah. So
it
some people use
rain
umbrella,
won't
sure,
hit their
but
body.
it's just a bit more common to see people like just use a
In a
raincoat,
raincoat.
use a trench coat or
Uh,
something, and
true.
just stroll under the rain.
Well, that
So
was awesome, man. I do want to take this opportunity to go and eat my good child, but person never child. Man, thank
okay.
you so much for being on the show with me. This has been awesome and lovely. I do this
No, no,
every
no.
Saturday or every mostly
Okay.
weekends. So you're welcome to join us anytime. If you see I'll
Oh,
always be
okay.
posting the
Okay.
link like that. So if you see the link,
Okay.
just
Okay.
click on it
Okay.
and join. Yeah, this has been awesome. If you cannot join in person like this, you can join from YouTube and just watch. Like you can
Oh,
see,
okay.
you see those numbers up there. Those are people from YouTube watching. Like I don't know where it is. It should be on like the right top of the screen. I don't know if you can see from your side.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
like okay, so like what is the YouTube channel?
yeah, my YouTube channel name is Eddy for short. Hold on, let me write it in the comment here so that you can just copy and paste. Eddy for SHOT. Yeah, so if you go on YouTube, you'll find Eddy for sure. This is written there. You see EDDY number 4 SHOT.
Okay,
Yes. You
EG. Okay.
EDDY. No,
EGGY
yes.
4.
Let me see how you guys, if I was on YouTube now searching how we did look. Give me 1 second. I think I can present my screen for this part. Bear with me. Right, present. Stop screen. Uh-oh. Present. One second. Present. Share screen. Share screen. All right. Entire screen here. That's fine. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I've seen it. Okay.
You've seen it, so yeah, because I wanted to show people how it would look like if they were searching for it. So EDDY number 4 SHOT. You just hit enter, and this is what it looks like. So this is the channel. I have 179 subscribers. Maybe you make the 180th subscribe. Say we are live now. It's me and you here. See?
If you change to 178 now.
Oh yeah, nice. That's what's up. So there we go. I normally host every week, so different topics, different things. Me, I meet people, people meet me. These are the normal host channels, different setup every time. I try to make something unique every episode so
Oh,
that
okay.
no episode is like really the same. Yeah, we could have a chain of episodes. Hold on. There we go.
Let's spice things up a bit.
It's ringing.
Since
What is scam callers?
Okay.
Hello? Hello, you reach Eddie? Yeah, it's a scam
spice things up a bit.
call. See, yeah, they always want to capture me when I'm doing nothing. Anyways, but yeah, that is basically how my show is. I talk to people online, depending on what topic it is. It could not be any topic like what we did today, right? We just started talking and voila, we went political a little bit, then we went data analysis, and then we went job hunting, which kind of tied us back to what we were doing earlier today, which I was looking for how to apply for school and how to do. And you gave me some valuable advice, which I actually wrote down. You see, this is
Okay.
actually
No
valuable
problem.
advice from you, which I'm going to use. So it's a learning skill. People are willing to pay graphic design, software design, all those things. Better work-life
Okay.
balance, shaving the yak, very important quote. Whip it out, someone will exchange it for money. That vocational skills. These are all quotes that I wrote down for me. So you helped me today because earlier
Okay.
today when I was with somebody, someone also gave me this and we wrote all of those things down. So
Okay.
this
So
helps
no,
me
it's a
every episode. I try to make it better. At
okay.
least learn, teach somebody. If I'm not teaching myself, I'm teaching the guest. If I'm not teaching the guest, we're teaching the audience. Somebody's winning somewhere,
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't know if you've seen my okay, you follow me on Instagram, right? On
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my journey around is that I'm creating I guess an autobiography, a walking autobiography, right? So that means that if I grow up, I won't need to make an autobiography again. You know,
Okay.
so like one day I know I'm going to need an autobiography, which is going to be legendary. So I might as well start making it for myself now. That way I don't have to do it later.
Okay. No
So yeah, so
problem now.
yeah, welcome to join us
So nice.
anytime.
So it was nice catching up with you. I actually
As
really had
always, my
fun.
G, as always, like we
Okay.
never left.
Yeah.
Yes, my
So
G.
it's all
You
good
look
now.
awesome. I'm telling you, you look
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
I've not
you.
seen you
Thank
in how
you.
many years, and it's just like I
Yeah.
just saw you yesterday. This
Yeah.
you
Thank you.
kept the age did not do you bad.
It's the grace of God.
It is
So
well. Thank
nice
you so
one,
much,
G.
my G, for joining.
So
I
take
really
care now. Take
appreciate it.
care.
Thank you so
Okay
much. I
now. Bye,
appreciate it.
bro.
Bye everyone. Let's tell bye bye to the guests now. Those that are watching, please
Okay.
give them a reason to watch this thing again. Tell them something about yourself. Give them a shout out. Tell them about your show or your what is there anything that you want to present to them? Reason to watch this thing again.
Okay. Bye, everyone. It was like fun, like being with you guys, and hopefully maybe we can do this sometime again.
Yes, please. I open every Saturday, 10 to 12 is the Flight on the Wall podcast. You can search for it on all
Okay.
the place you get your podcast. Do you have a social media you want to share with them?
Okay. Fiji, Fejiro,
All right. All
Fejigaro.
right. Veggie RO
So sorry, it's Fejigbagz.
GBAJZ.
G. Okay, so F for fish, E for egg, J for jog, I for iron, G for goats, B for ball, A for apple, G for goats, and Z for zebra.
Okay, that is it, right? I'm
Yeah.
posting it here. Let me see if you can you see it down
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've seen
Freddy
it.
back. So if you guys should follow him. Okay, no, it's over here. Follow him right now. Follow him on Instagram, on Twitter, on the Twitch, or anywhere you guys get your good stuff. I really appreciate you guys for joining us. Those that have watched us online this whole time, I really appreciate. Those that have stuck with us on Twitter and on Twitch and on Instagram, I really appreciate each and every one of you. We try to make this as often as possible, maybe even more. Just a matter of what time I have. Maybe I can do a flight on the wall on the road, and it might be fun like how we did last
Okay.
week. Last week we did to New York. But hey, let me not take too much of your
Okay.
time, man.
Okay.
Thank you so
Take
much
care,
for
bro.
joining me.
It was
Thank
nice
you.
one now. Take
Always,
care.
man. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. That was fun, guys. I really, really, really enjoyed that. You guys should look. We do this every week. Yes, I'm going to stand up now, but as you can see, I have a motorized desk. Shout out to Fuzzy for the motorized desk, and we can like move things up like this while I'm still sitting down, and you get a different view of the whole situation. Look at that. So let's adjust this guy like so. All right. So see, here we have it. This is my room. This is my podcast. This is the end. You guys have watched to the end. This was a very, very engaging episode. For those who are still watching on live with us, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you guys really liked what you saw today. I'm sure if you liked it. If you didn't like it, well, let me know. If you did, if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, also let me know. By looking at that. So I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you so much. We're going to count down from 30. Let's go.